Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, as the case may be, wherever you are. This is the snowstorm, and I'm now coming to you every day in California. I'm at in Palm Springs, and it's 10 a.m. Pacific, which means it's like, I don't know, midnight in Bangkok. So wherever you are in the world, welcome. I'm showing up, and I'm glad you are too. So on July 17th, 2025, on my official public Facebook page, I broadcast in its entirety one of the thousands of Good Trouble events taking place across the nation. This one at the Palm Springs Cultural Center. It was co organized by Courageous Resistance of the Desert, Indivisible of the Desert, Brothers of the Desert, the Coachella Valley Sistas Network, that's Sistahs, Sistas Network, and the Palm Springs Black History Committee. And I was there with my camera. I live streamed the entire event on my Facebook page. Now, what you may not know, and consider this a public service announcement, is sometime in September of 2025, Facebook is going to remove all previously live broadcasts from the past, and any new broadcasts effective now for a few months, live broadcasts that happened only within the Facebook environment will be deleted after 30 days. So even though I did broadcast this event live on my public Facebook page, it's going to disappear there. So I am doing an encore broadcast because I want to preserve this event in perpetuity. That's one of my roles, basically, to document our history. I consider it to be incredibly important. So, as we learn at goodtroublelivesOn.org, Good Trouble Lives On is a national day of action to respond to the attacks on our civil and human rights by the Trump administration. Together, we'll remind them that in America, the power lies with the people. Coined by civil rights leader Congressman John Lewis, good trouble is the action of coming together to take peaceful, nonviolent action to challenge injustice and create meaningful change. The civil rights leaders of the past have shown us the power of collective action. That's why on July 17th, 5 years since the passing of Congressman John Lewis, communities across the country took to the streets, courthouses, and community spaces to carry forward his fight for justice, voting rights, and dignity for all. It's an incredibly powerful event that took place, and I look forward to bringing it to you coming up. By the way, my show is available across multiple social media platforms. It is designed to be viewed, but it also appears wherever you get your podcast. And this particular broadcast is no exception. This will be transferred over to my podcast platform, and you may listen wherever you get your podcast. However, I encourage you to tune in live weekdays at 10 a.m. Pacific to the Facebook broadcast because I want to interact with you. And at the top of every show, I'm going to have a What's on Your Mind segment. So be sure to start doing that. Now, for about 40 years, I have been a multimedia entertainment activist. For about 8 or 9 years, almost 10 actually, I've been producing PromoHomo.TV. And I'd like to think that my content is historic and valuable and world changing. And some of you agree with me because there are people who can support and do support my work for a pledge of as little as $10 a month. And I want to thank the latest people who have come on board to do that. So the entry level is $3 a month. And if you do that, you become part of the sticker squad. And in the third month of your participation, you'll get this sticker. You can put it wherever you want. And my latest sticker squad participant is Doug Sadownik. He's a very well-known therapist and author, and I want to thank him. There are higher levels. The people that are now new in the closing credits, as of yesterday, Tom Baytalk has come on board at $10 a month. And he's a local here in Palm Springs and is supporting the show because he's appreciative of my coverage of Modern Men, a group that he sings with. Also, at an even higher level, Vincent J. Corrales, also known as DJ Galaxy, has come on board. You'll see all of their names in the credits at the end of the show, but I want to show them to you now as well.
I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I am running for you. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. I'll be your light. Your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light.
So please go to patreon.com/PromoHomo.TV and help support this program if you're in a position to do so and so inspired. Next up, I thank my sponsors, and then we'll be back with my encore broadcast of the Palm Springs Good Trouble event. I'm Nicholas Snow, and I'd like to thank Willie Ryan and John Pascal, owners of 849 Restaurant and Lounge, for their support of PromoHomo.TV from the beginning. I was honored to work at the restaurant the first 4 years they were open, during which time I was inspired to write this. At 849 Restaurant and Lounge, sitting in the lounge area at a high top with a view of the Grand Corridor, the main dining area, is truly like starring in one play while simultaneously watching another, both with fabulous scenery and lighting, a gorgeous cast, fascinating characters, and exciting plot twists, complete with movie stars and paparazzi, not to mention fabulous eats. I call it reality dinner theater. See and be seen while starring in your own scene. Perhaps we'll have a scene together. Make your reservations at 849.com.
Hi, it's Brad Furr, a proud media sponsor of PromoHomo.TV, and I'm the owner of K-Gay Palm Springs and Gay Desert Guide. We just wanted to say thank you and thanks to Nicholas Snow for what he does. K-Gay Radio is a worldwide streaming service of great dance hits that you can listen to anywhere, anytime. And when you're planning your visit to Greater Palm Springs, use gaydesertguide.lgbt.
Ask your smart speaker to play KGAY.
Hi, my name is Matt Scalarude, president of Pink Media, and a very proud and long-term supporter of PromoHomo.TV. And so at Pink Media, we've been working with companies large and small, including destinations such as this, to kind of help them target and reach the LGBT community online. And so we've been doing this for almost 30 years. And what's more important is that, it started out with banner ads and email campaigns, and now we've morphed into social media and video, and it's all about storytelling. So if you have a story and a message that you'd like to get out to a very targeted yet broad audience online, reaching the LGBT community, give us a call or reach us at www.pinkmedia.lgbt. Thanks.
The LGBTQ Community Center of the Desert is the only Coachella Valley organization dedicated to meeting the diverse needs of all LGBTQ+ individuals. From our Palm Springs McDonald Wright Building to the Center Coachella, the Scott Hines Behavioral Health Clinic, and the Community Food Bank, our mission comes to life by making meaningful connections to resources and to community that contribute to LGBTQ+ people's health and happiness. For more information, visit thecentercv.org. courthouses.org.
I'm Nicholas Snow. This is a higher powered edition of PromoHomo.TV. Coming up, my encore broadcast of the July 17th, 2025 Good Trouble event at the Palm Springs Cultural Center in Palm Springs, California. So, when I am going to be broadcasting an event live, there are a lot of things that I need to consider. For example, there was a No King's Day protest in Palm Springs in the downtown park, and it was going to be around 100 degrees at the time of the broadcast. The event was going to be, at least an hour, if not an hour and a half or more. And I knew that if I was doing that broadcast with this phone, that this phone would overheat and shut down in minutes. So I literally made my own little ice pack. I took a Ziploc bag, I put water in it, I froze it in a particular shape. So when this was mounted in a tripod, I was able to hang the ice on the back of this phone against this surface. And I was able to successfully broadcast that. You can find it on my YouTube channel, the No King's Day broadcast. And there were 5,000 people that showed up in person. Now, for the Good Trouble Lives On event, it was happening inside because, of course, it's Palm Springs in the summer. And but I always get there early because I need to think, well, where am I going to sit in the venue? Where am I going to get the best camera angles, etc.? What is the specific rundown of the show? Is there anything I need to consider? So what I learned is that there were going to be several components of the show that were licensed content. And that becomes problematic because of intellectual property. The beautiful way about social media, it's an evolved in a way that it used to be that, let's say I was broadcasting a drag show, Facebook would identify that the music in the broadcast was copyrighted and they would throw me off the air. And other social media platforms would do that as well, rightfully so, because I wouldn't have been licensed. I wouldn't have the license. I wouldn't have paid for the rights to do that. So when I was broadcasting this event live, I didn't really know, am I going to get thrown off the air? What will happen if I do the broadcast? And I thought about maybe just simply recording the broadcast and post-producing it and putting up only things that I had the rights to. And but the organizers had publicized my broadcast, and there were many people who were counting on participating because of what I was going to be doing. And they already knew where to go to watch it, and the organizers were prepared to share the broadcast as soon as I went live. So I thought, oh, well, let me wing it. And what happened was, as soon as the broadcast was over, it went out without issue. You're about to see it. But as soon as it was over, there were copyright claims made against the video on Facebook, and I had the opportunity to share revenue with those copyright owners for my use of their content in my show. And as this goes out on YouTube, and once again to those platforms in this Encore broadcast, I'll be able to do the same. So even though I didn't have advance permission to use these elements, the way that the social media environment works now is that there is a way for me to keep these elements in my broadcast, for me to preserve this history, and for all of you to be able to experience it, and for all of the intellectual property holders to be compensated as they should be. So that's sort of the drama. And this is the phone that I used. The downside about doing a live broadcast from a phone on Facebook is that you cannot preserve a 4K HD recording of the broadcast. So there'll be this is still an HD recording. It isn't a 4K HD recording, but nevertheless, I believe that you're about to experience the most historic, comprehensive record of what happened that night right here. And I will be back for a few remarks here in the studio today on August 5th, 2025, after we relive this experience Thursday, July 17th at the Palm Springs Cultural Center in Palm Springs, California. And I will bring you that now. Hey everybody, Nicholas Snow here, your favorite promo homo with sweet baby Jay, who I'm going to speak with in a moment. And I am live with PromoHomo.TV on my public Facebook page from the official Good Trouble event taking place here in Palm Springs. And it's one of thousands taking place across the country today, across the nation. And this particular event at the Palm Springs Cultural Center is being co-organized by Courageous Resistance of the Desert, Indivisible of the Desert, Brothers of the Desert, the Coachella Valley Sistas Network, and it's spelled SISTAHS, Sistas Network, and the Palm Springs Black History Committee. Now, as we learn at goodtroublelivesOn.org, Good Trouble Lives On is a national day of action to respond to the attacks on our civil and human rights by the Trump administration. Together we'll remind them that in America, the power lies with the people. Now, coined by civil rights leader Congressman John Lewis, who died 5 years ago today, Good Trouble is the action of coming together to take peaceful, nonviolent action to challenge injustice and create meaningful change. And I've intentionally gone live with Sweet Baby J here just a few minutes before this event because I wanted to be able to talk to someone and fill time. But you are a powerful woman in your own right, and you had something to do with tonight as well. So what brings you here?
Well, I am a Coachella Valley sister. And so, like you said, we're doing this all over the country. And this is Palm Springs, this is our contribution to a nationwide rally, right? This is an indoor rally. We are here in solidarity. We are here in solidarity with everyone in like mind because we are in a crisis in this nation and we have to get into some kind of trouble, and good trouble is what John Lewis advised us to get into. So let's do that. And I have the Sunset Music and Education Foundation, and as a part of that we're always trying to lift up our community and educational events. This is one of them. And so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy. I didn't feel well. And I said, I want to get out of the house and I want to come and be with my people because that's what's going to make me feel better. And this is what we have to do because we have an existential threat to us right here in real time. Every day, our rights are being taken away from us. And so every day we need to say to ourselves, stand up, shout out, and demand that we have justice, because we are living in a time where my grandparents and their grandparents before them saw. And so it's a matter of this is our time to stand up, right? And this is what we have to do. We're doing it across the nation. We're doing it right here today in Palm Springs. And I'm so happy that to see this whole audience is going to be participating in full. That's what it's all about.
Well, I do what I can to show up for these particular events and to make them available to my audience, but to also to preserve the very important history. And I'll be broadcasting the whole program live as long as my technology cooperates. it's just never been more important.
Yeah, it really hasn't. I think this is one of the most important events, times in our lifetime, because we're not just having one thing stripped from us. We're having so many things at the same time. We're talking about health care. We're talking about feeding babies. We're talking about our science, the NHI. We're talking about well, yes, come on.
Yes.
We're talking about. Come
And we have Ron DeHart, who is a member of.
Only if we're live.
Are you still the mayor?
I am.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So we have Ron DeHart, who's the mayor of Palm Springs, who knows how to step in for a photo op. Hello,
There you
Mayor.
go. How about that?
The reason I asked him if he's still the mayor, it was telling me I could add visual effects using hand gestures. My phone is smarter.
Oh my God.
It's smarter than I am.
How do you do that? Like if you did the bird,
I have no idea.
you have to practice.
Yes. So, what does tonight mean to you, Mayor DeHart?
You know, it's an opportunity, number one, to bring community together and bring our community together, and have some great conversations and a great opportunity to sit back and absorb and really put to truth what we're hearing tonight and find action coming out of it tomorrow and every day after that.
And we have to come together, because I'm telling you, several times a day we can be shell-shocked by what's going on in our country. And
It's never a dull day.
it is. And, we're two white men talking to a black woman. So, you have had a completely different life experience than we have.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's talk about my life experience. Let's talk about how some people say that, oh, well, you know what, you're going to get through it because we've been through so much and we keep getting through it. But you have never gotten through anything without a fight. So if you sit back and think that, okay, let me just, chill out for a little bit, because then when the election rolls around again, it's going to take care of itself. That's not how it has happened in the past, and it's not how it's going to happen now. And so, community doing what we're doing is what we need to do. Getting together with our community, speaking up and speaking out. Yeah. That's what does it.
Relentlessly.
I was recently in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and my friend took me to see George Floyd Square.
Oh.
I intentionally did not get a photo of me in that location. That felt disrespectful, and it's not a tourist attraction. But I just went to that spot, and it's just, it's one thing to see it on the news, and the building that had once been the police station that is no more.
We're getting our cue to...
Yes, we're consistently learning and growing, but we're getting ready to begin. So stay tuned. We'll be bringing it to you live. I'll turn the camera around. Okay, just let me turn. I'm going to. Hello, sir.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm broadcasting live from right next to you.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. I'm just let you know right now, I'm looking and you're probably saying to yourself, oh, he's looking right at me. I can't see anybody. But hey, can I get the representatives from the Palm Springs Black History Committee? It should be one from each organization. Brothers of the Desert, Courageous Resistance, Individual of the Desert, Coachella Valley Sisters Network. Can we get one of you all here on the stage?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Come on. Come on.
Yes, we can.
So before I do a welcome, I'm going to let them say a couple of words, and then I'll go right into my welcome. So please state your name and your organization, so that way I don't mess your name up.
Joy Silver, Courageous Resistance, Indivisible of the Desert. Oh, yes. Since 2017, we started with 17 people. Today, we are 1,704 people. We are advocating and resisting. We resist injustice no matter where it happens. We advocate for all people in the Coachella Valley. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm Andrew Nelson, and I am representing the Coachella Valley Sister Network.
All right.
We are a social group only. We don't do membership, or we're not 501c. We started, I guess, about 8 years ago. The person who brought us together was the person who sold all of us our homes. She's here.
Yes, she is.
So, what we do is we support each other. We support our Coachella Valley community, and when we can, we support needed causes in the Coachella Valley. And that's what we do.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jody Diaz, and I am the Vice President of the Palm Springs Black History Committee, along with Jarvis, who's I don't know why I'm doing it and he's not, but he's the President of the Black History Committee. We are approaching our 38-year in existence as an organization, and our mission and goal is to educate, unite, and celebrate history, real history, as it should be. And we're here today. We're super honored to be working with these groups to celebrate John Lewis today. And look us up on palmspringsblackhistory.org to find out all the activities and upcoming events that we have.
So good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Vincent, and I'm the president of the board of directors for Brothers of the Desert. So we've also been in existence for maybe about 8 years. We're a nonprofit. Our mission is to empower Black gay men and our allies through advocacy, social networking, education, and philanthropy. And a number of us are in the house tonight, so please get a little, yeah!
Yeah!
And so again, we are also grateful to be collaborating with the other organizations for this incredible night that is going to honor the legacy and the important work that John Lewis has done. So I'm going to turn it over now again to Jarvis Crawford.
All right. I think that's going to shorten up my welcome then. So, well, on behalf of the Palm Springs Black History Committee, Brothers of the Desert, Courageous Resistance, Indivisible of the Desert, Coachella Valley Sisters Network, we welcome you. And so give yourself a hand. So we welcome you to The Good Trouble Lives On. Once again, my name is Jarvis Crawford. I am the president of the Palm Springs Black History Committee, and I appreciate the organizations all coming together for this event and even asking me to do the welcome. So with me welcoming you here today, we welcome you here today, and we say that we don't take it lightly. We don't take it lightly because there are many people within our community, state, and country that didn't always feel welcome. I can go back not only in history, but in my own personal life, when I didn't feel welcome when I was here in the United States. There currently is a situation to where we're not all welcome right now.
That's right.
In the United States. So you all are welcome here today. We welcome you here this evening to not only celebrate John Lewis, but to celebrate the good trouble that he did. And to make sure that that good trouble lives on. We welcome you here today so that you know that you have a place to come. There's many organizations here that you can be a part of that welcome you today. So all those names that you heard, if you are not a part of one of those organizations, jump in and be a part of those organizations. And guess what? I'm sure that membership can go from Courageous Resistance to the Brothers of the Desert to the Sisters Network to the Black History Committee. You can jump on all of those. And we love that folks are out here to come together.
That's right.
So once again, we welcome you here. Sit back and enjoy the program. And at this time, I will turn it over to our MC this evening from Brothers of... Oh, I'm not? No? Oh, am I turning it over to you? Oh, the invocation. Yes. We have an invocation this evening. if you put the program up, then I'll know where I'm supposed to be. So we do have an invocation this evening, and it will be none other than one of the members of the Palm Springs Black History Committee. His name is Alfonso Murray. I love this outfit he's got on. I'm ready for war.
There you go. And then some.
Why don't you look at your neighbor and say hi? Look at your neighbor again and say, you sure do smell good.
You sure do smell good.
Friends, today we celebrate the life, legacy, and bonus, if you will, of Congressman John Lewis. By doing so, we offer this invocation because good trouble can't wait. Amen?
Amen.
Together, let us pray. God of prophetic restlessness, inspire us to make good trouble, to challenge injustice and incivility. Empower us to stand with the forgotten. Empower us to stand with all races, colors, and creeds, and the organizers of tonight's event. As drum majors for social justice and change, we march to the beat of good trouble. So guide us to organize more. Hear us to educate as you would have us to educate. Stir up in us conflict. And with our convictions, we promise to be tethered to the truth. The truth of marching to a higher power's heartbeat of civil rights. Therefore, in closing, let us be reminded, for as we have done to the least of those or these, we have done unto you. As we used to say when I was a little boy, ooh, you in trouble. Good trouble. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
He said, ooh. I thought the preacher was about to come out and you're going to start hooping. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome to be here tonight, and I hope you enjoy the program. So at this time, I will turn it over to the president of Brothers of the Desert, and you all know him. Let's give a big round of applause, Mr. Tim Vincent.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. All right. So are we ready? Yes. Are we ready to be inspired? Yes. Okay. Anyway, we are here to honor the legacy of John Lewis. And we have, if you might have seen the program, but we've invited a number of inspiring speakers, singers, writers, poets, to give us the inspiration that we need this time. Because I would say we need some inspiration. Would you agree? Yes. We do. So this is going to be a community-wide event. This is not a politically partisan event, but it's something that's bringing our communities together to move forward for change. And as John Lewis said, if you see something that is unjust, something that's not right, you've got to step up and say something about it and do something about it. So we're doing something about it tonight, yes? All right. So, I want to also let you know that we're going to, again, see a number of incredible people. And we're going to see a video clip from John Lewis as well for us to understand his history, his place in history, and how much he mattered to us here in this country. So we're going to see that. And it couldn't come at a better time. This is an anniversary of 5 years after his passing, and we are facing some challenging times. But this is, again, about a time to bring us all together. And so, again, Are you ready to be inspired?
Oh, yes.
Come on. Are you ready to be moved?
Yes.
Are you ready to be entertained?
Yes.
All right. And are you ready to say something, do something when you see something that isn't right?
Yes.
So I'm going to start the program with a singer. And she was going to be singing a song. So let me tell you a little bit about that singer. When I asked her to send me some lines to introduce her, she wrote, I'm a junior at Rancho Mirage High School. It is good. I dance. Nothing too crazy. And then she said, my dad is probably a better person to ask about that, to be completely honest. So then I text her dad, Jarvis Williams, who everybody we know, who's not here tonight, but should be here tonight, who's an incredible leader in our community, and he responded to me within about 1 minute. And here's what he said. Janaya attends Rancho Mirage High School. She has a 4.0 GPA.
Come on.
She plays volleyball and is part of the dance ministry of the Love of Christ Community Church.
All right.
Janaya enjoys singing and has dreams of attending Howard University.
Yes.
So, you know what, I want to tell you, we are all excited about your dream. We are there for you. We hope your dreams, all your dreams come true. So
Yeah.
singing our Black national anthem, Lift Every Voice, is Janaya Williams.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
All right, baby.
Facing our rising sun of our new days begun. Let us march on till victory
Yes.
is won.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Janaya Williams, everybody! Yes. Okay. So, we thought we would show a clip about John Lewis to really center this program, to give you a little bit about how meaningful he is, his history, and what he has accomplished, and how he still inspires us today. So can we show that film clip right now?
Sometimes I hear people saying nothing had changed. But for someone to grow up the way I grew up in the cotton fields of Alabama,
Come on. Come on.
to now be serving in the United States Congress, makes me want to tell them, come and walk in my shoes.
Oh, come on.
John Lewis grew up in rural Alabama at the height of segregation and Jim Crow.
Alabama.
And at a very early age, he understood the inequality between African Americans and white Americans in Southern society. He was inspired to do something about that. He initially wanted to become a minister. So he came to Nashville, Tennessee as a young adult to study theology. He quickly, however, became sidetracked because he came to Nashville at the very moment when many African American and white students in that city were organizing to desegregate lunch counters and businesses in downtown Movement. John Lewis quickly found his way to the members of the Nashville movement, and that redirected his entire career. That's when he signed on to become a movement activist and joined the marches and the protests there. What makes John Lewis so significant in any history of the civil rights movement is that as a result of this decision that he made in Nashville to dedicate his life to social activism, he was present at practically every major event in the civil rights era of the 60s. For example, he became involved in the Freedom Rides in 1961.
A bus was set on fire in Anderson, Alabama. We were beaten and arrested and jailed, but we helped bring an end to segregation and public transportation.
Congressman John Lewis, was and is a very courageous man. He was willing to be arrested and to go to jail for things in which he believed, the epitome of non-violent protest for something he thought was right, true equality and social justice.
Another action that John Lewis was involved in is the famous march in 1965 from Selma, Alabama to the state capitol in Montgomery. Members of SNCC, along with members of the SCLC, led by Dr. King, Andrew Young, decide to march very visibly from Selma, this very small town that no one had ever heard of, to Montgomery, in order to call attention to the need to protect the voting rights of the Black people and the poor people of the state of Alabama.
I happen to believe, and I truly believe this, that the vote is precious, almost sacred in a democratic society. It is the most powerful, non-violent instrument or tool that we have. We have to use it. When people come together and pool their political power, they can determine who is the mayor, who is the police chief, who is the governor, who is the congressperson, and who is the president of the United States.
John Lewis was invited to give a speech at the very important 1963 March on Washington in Washington, D.C. The March on Washington is a proud moment for John Lewis, not only because he gets to stand before the nation talking about what it means to be a member of the movement, but also because he comes on as a prelude to Dr. King's famous I Have a Dream speech.
Oh, God said, be patient and wait. We must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
What distinguishes his leadership in the movement is that John Lewis always emphasized working collaboratively with other individuals and groups and building coalitions between groups, bringing majority Black groups together with majority white groups. John Lewis is a member of the House of Representatives for the state of Georgia today. And in that capacity, he continues using some of the strategies and tactics of the civil rights movement.
The time for silence and patience is long gone. We're calling on the leadership of the House to bring common sense gun control legislation to the House floor. Give us a vote.
He has carried Black men over many, many years in the United States Congress. And he has represented his district here in Atlanta exceedingly well over time.
He's still very much devoted in his capacity as a civic leader to issues of civil rights and human rights, very much devoted to themes of tolerance and bridging difference in his work today.
Yes. So again, an applause one more time for the work of John Lewis. Please, everybody. Thank you. In the video, he mentions the power of the vote and how sacred that is, and how important it is to vote for every elected office possible. We are graced today by a number of elected officials and other dignitaries, civic leaders, and I want to acknowledge them right now. If we can put the house lights a little bit up so that we can see who these people are, because they're here with us. We have the mayor of Palm Springs, Rhonda Hart. We have city council members David Gray and Jeffrey Bernstein are here, I know that. We have the new superintendent of Palm Springs Unified School District, Dr. Marcus Funter. Yes, there he is, over there. And please, if I didn't, I know we also have the Mayor Pro Tem of Desert Hot Springs. There he is. Barry Gardner. Thank you very much for being here. It's the support of all of our elected officials that makes this really work. So it's so important that you're here. We really appreciate the work you do and the sacrifice you make for making this a more just and inclusive and equitable community. So thank you again. Thank them all. I want to know, because I haven't seen this person yet, is our Mayor Pro Tem here? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Okay. I've been here all the time. What are you waiting for? Okay, so we're going to hear from one of our elected officials. She's a public health activist, a mom, feminist organizer, I think I remember you saying, or you not saying, but seeing, and that you were elected in November 2024 to District 4, I believe, yes, I'm trying to remember all my lines here, yes. And now the Mayor Pro Tem of Palm Springs, welcoming us, Naomi Soto.
Good evening. Hold on, I'm going to put a little light on my comments. Good evening to our beautiful room, this beautiful community. Thank you so much to the organizers of tonight's event, Brothers of the Desert, Sister Network, Black History Committee, Courageous Resistance, Indivisible of the Desert. We are so fortunate to have so many community groups here to bring us together, to remind us what it means to come together in community and to do the good work, to make sure that we all are safe and can thrive. And so I just feel so grateful to be here. Tonight here in Palm Springs, we come together not just to honor a man, an incredible man, Congressman John Lewis, but also to reignite a movement. We are here because Congressman John Lewis taught us that silence is not an option. He shared his leadership for decades with this country. From the early 60s, as we saw in that video, in the Freedom Rides and the Civil Rights Movement, to the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee that did so much incredible work around student activism, to the decades of congressional leadership representing the state of Georgia. Congressman Lewis reminded us that when we see something that is not right, when we see it in its face and we know it's not right, we have a moral obligation to do something. That we can't be afraid to make some noise and get in trouble, get good trouble, necessary trouble. So we're gathered tonight, not by party or platform, because there's going to be disagreements sometimes, right? Of course, there's going to be disagreements, maybe in values, priorities, maybe sometimes strategies. There are so many issues that we all want to work on, but we remain united in purpose, because good trouble, it lives in all of us. It lives in our bones, in our thoughts, in our heart, and it marches with us, because good trouble speaks through every act of justice, every word of truth that comes out of our mouths, and every refusal to back down. So I thought maybe we could just kind of reinforce what does that mean in action, right? So a few thoughts. One, to speak boldly. Just as John Lewis risked his body on the Pettus Bridge, we sometimes have to risk a little comfort to speak out against injustice, whether it's in the streets in our community, in schools, workplaces, boardrooms. Sometimes it's in our homes and our own personal relationships. We have to stand in solidarity because justice is not a solo act. It's not a one-person show. Fairness is a communal action. When we lock arms across generations, genders, geography, we become unshakable. 3, protect human dignity. Because this is about people. It's about ensuring that every life is treated with dignity, that no one can legislate away. It's about protecting every kind of love, protecting every kind of family, that we all have the opportunity to thrive in this country. 4, boots on the ground. We gotta keep our boots on the ground because real change requires real presence. Whether you're showing up to vote, which is an honorable moral obligation, to volunteer, supporting your neighbor, we must keep showing up. And I want to call out, I want to invite you not just to call out injustice, but also to call in. Call in when someone is doing something right. And I would say that to your elected leaders when they're passing a policy or doing an investment that you think is finally, we're doing it. When it's to your coworkers, when they're reminding you what your workplace deserves to be. It's to, again, your family and friends. When someone is doing something good and honorable that benefits everyone, say thank you. Tell them you see it, you appreciate it, and you're honored and you're motivated to do the same. And last, lift as we climb, because leadership is not about standing above others, it's about lifting others as we rise. Because John Lewis never forgot where he came from. He never forgot what the abject inequality that he experienced as a child, and he never, until his last days, stopped working on it. And so we must not forget where we come from either. So I just want to, with all of you, continue in this fight for justice. That didn't begin with John Lewis, and it sure didn't end with him. Because, and we have an obligation to continue because he gave us that model. Good trouble is an inheritance, and it's our responsibility. And the baton has been passed to us, and in this moment of uncertainty when news is so jarring and depressing and can make our stomach turn, our skin crawl, we have to remember, what can we do? Because if it's not us, then who? And if it's not now, when? So I want to make sure here in Palm Springs it's crystal clear. We're going to rise, we're going to walk, we're going to speak in unison, we're going to get in good trouble, necessary trouble. And I'm just so honored and so grateful to be doing this trouble with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem Naomi Soto.
All right, Naomi.
So now I have the honor of introducing the next speaker, who to me is inspirational, a civil rights leader with an incredible history of service in the Coachella Valley. I'm going to talk a little bit about Ron Oden. So Ron Oden has a long history of community and political involvement based upon his personal commitment to improving the lives of the citizens in our community. In 1994, he began his service as a city council member, and then in November 2003, he was elected mayor of Palm Springs. Yes. Here's the big part. Becoming the first openly gay, directly elected African-American mayor in the United States. Yes. While he was mayor, Palm Springs experienced a great period of economic growth and development. He promoted jobs, economic development, and worked to strengthen the relationship between the Agua Caliente band of Cahuilla Indians His service continues today. He's still doing it. He is the College of the Desert Board of Trustees.
Yeah.
Please welcome Ron Oden.
It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Watching the clip was so inspiring. We have so much to be thankful for because of the shoulders that we stand on. People who fought and gave their lives and gave their best so that we could be here today. As I was thinking about the good trouble, I needed to put it into some sort of context. So I put it in the context of what will this country look like as we approach 50% minorities. Hello.
Come on.
Well, we not only approached, but we have arrived. For you see, in 2020, 50% of the children under 18 were minority. By 2027, so we got a couple of years, 50% of those under 29 years old will be minorities. So what we are experiencing in this country is our ill adjustment to what is. You can't deport enough people. You can't imprison enough people to change the tide of what is. Oh, but they're trying. And it's not just in the United States. If we look at the world, we know the world is the majority people of color. So the turmoil that we're experiencing internationally is on the same plane of what we are experiencing here in this country. But the good trouble took me back to my childhood because I was just a kid when all this was going on, and now look at all this gray hair. But I remember the adults talking and trying to figure out if this man, Martin Luther King, was friend or foe. If he was a communist put in to hurt us in the long run and our movement, or was he genuinely a good person trying to change this country for the better? And that discussion went on for quite a while. But eventually, as a nation, we accepted him as a leader. But it wasn't just accepting him as a leader. It's really he became a leader for all people in this country And that's what made him even more dangerous.
Yeah.
It was all right if he was just dealing with the black folks. But when he started dealing with the unions and white people, then they knew that something had to be done. Good trouble. Look, we don't have any idea today of the organization. You know, they follow the blueprint of the civil rights movement for all the other social movements that we have in this country, but they don't follow it to a T. For you see, during the civil rights movement, whether you were a freedom rider or whether you were just going to a demonstration, there were protocols. You couldn't get upset when that police officer or that person in power was yelling in your face and calling you all kinds of names and spitting on you and pushing you around. You couldn't afford to retaliate because the retaliation of one could hurt tens of thousands. So it had to be coordinated. They had to be disciplined. And I have to say thank you to the deacons. The deacons in the churches were our police officers. And they watched us to make sure that none of us did anything wrong to bring about more problems for the rest of us. The deacons. But there wouldn't be any deacons if there hadn't been the church. The church members came out to do what they knew they needed to do, to get into good trouble, to make a difference for you and for me. My aunt used to tell me the story of when she went to vote in Alabama, and how as soon as she finished her test, the clerk took her exam and tore it up right in her face and put it in the trash can. Or when my uncle, who had come home from the service, serving this country during World War II, and he went to vote, but the whole family went to vote with him. My grandfather, my grandmother, the whole family went. And when he was denied the opportunity to vote in a country that he had just served with his life on the line for, my grandfather wept for the first time in front of his children. Good trouble. Good trouble. Inspiring us to go on and to do more and to do what we can. Our work is cut out for us because by the next 20 years, this country will be better than 50% minority. Can't get rid of us. So the change has to come. But we know what lies beneath the surface. Many of us try to pretend like this president brought on all of this racism. No, he didn't. Can't give him that much credit. It was always here. Did he tap into it?
Yes, he did.
Then he did. But he tapped into what was already there. And there's more, because anytime people can sit home self-satisfied, watching father being pulled away from their children, and children being pulled away from their parents, this is inhumane. And this is what we have become. It is time to get into some good trouble.
Yes.
And it's all about you. According to one of my favorite poets, Dale Wimborough, he said, when you get what you want in your struggle for life, and the world makes you king or queen for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it isn't your father, your mother, your wife, upon whose judgment you must stand. For the fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear down to the end, and you've passed your most difficult, dangerous task. When the guy staring back is your friend. Now, you may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the guy in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. And you can fool the whole world, right on down to the end, and get taps on the back as you pass. But your final reward will bring heartache and tears if you've cheated the guy in the fight. God bless.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Ron, for doing that for us and coming here. You're incredible. Thank you so much for doing that. I now am going to introduce somebody that many of you may know as well, from his community work and from his singing. I'm going to be talking about Charles Huff. Yes. So Charles has been in the Palm Springs and Coachella Valley for about 14 years. He moved here originally with his partner, and his partner died about a year and a half after he got here. And that got him on a different path, or a path that really has been working for him. In the last 14 years, he has been involved in so many of the community organizations that you all know. The LGBTQ Center, the My Zone Center, Brothers of the Desert, DAP Health, and he is the Director of Food Security at the Food Bank from the LGBTQ Center. He's an amazing singer. His background is in theater and in church, and we love him. The community loves him. So I just want to let you know that you're going to be in for an incredible experience. Everybody, Charles Huff.
Well, thank you for all of that. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of our Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart. You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk
and what a beautiful song to choose, too, because that's such a beautiful and meaningful song for right now and for today. Before we move forward, though, I want to thank Tom McGillis and Drew Sachs. They might be right next to me, for their signing of this event tonight. So please thank them for doing that. And for helping make this event inclusive and accessible like it should be. So thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you do. We really appreciate your work. Thank you. Yes, welcome, yes. So I also want to introduce the next person on the program. And I'm going to talk a bit about that person right now. Okay, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. I really am going to do it. Really? I'm stalling. Yes, I am. It's just so dark in here. There it is. Okay, I see it now. Okay, I want to introduce you to the next speaker. And many of you may know this person as well. And I hope that that person is here because I haven't met that person yet. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen and it's going to work. Just believe in the universe. All right. So I want to introduce you to our next speaker. It's Anise Smith. Yeah! Anyway, let me talk about you before you get here. So she is a Palm Desert resident, an attorney with Starting Over, Inc., and a committed community advocate. So she also gave a little bit of this story, so I really want you to hear this part. So, formerly unhoused and justice impacted, she uses her lived experience to guide her legal work and advocacy on behalf of marginalized and underserved communities. At Starting Over, she provides pro bono legal service and support that's focused on reentry, housing, and civil rights, working to expand access and justice and empower those often left behind. I can't think of a better person to be speaking to us right now to inspire us, Anise Smith.
Good evening, everybody. Now, I guess we don't usually put these two words together, right? Good and trouble. Trouble's supposed to be something that we avoid, but I think John Lewis, he knew what he was saying. And I pondered this as I was preparing for this evening. Good trouble could mean so many things. And I went down this rabbit hole of what does good trouble mean? Two things seemingly that are working on the other side of one another. But I think it can mean many things, but one thing it definitely means is that even in times of trouble, we can still choose to do good. It means standing firm in love, right? Because that's the foundation, the firm foundation of everything that we're doing is rooted in love. And when the world tries to push us towards hate, we can choose love. Yeah. But it also means, right, but it also means risking your comfort for someone else's dignity. Maybe your own, but for someone else's dignity. And that's what good trouble is. It's not partisan, it's not about ego, it's not about just being loud for the sake of it. It's about standing in the face of injustice and saying, not on my watch.
Yeah.
And we know that trouble will come, but it's how we respond, how we choose to respond with courage, with conviction, with compassion, and that's what makes it good. And I think there will come a moment for each of us, maybe it has come already for many of you at some point, when our shock and our anger and our disappointment, our sadness, it reaches a boiling point. We are looking at what is happening around us and we're just so upset about the injustice. And it's that thing inside of us that yearns for justice, that brings us to a moment where you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it? Well, John Lewis, we know he did do something about it. He did many things about it. And I thought about this Bloody Sunday, this March 7th, 1965, we saw some of in the video, and just where he was in that moment, how the human side of this entire thing, because he is a legend and a civil rights icon. But going back to that moment, he was 25 years old. 25 years old, a young black man in Alabama in the 60s. He was there with his trench coat and a small bag. He said he had an apple and a toothbrush and a book, just in case he was arrested, as he had a strong feeling he might be. But he knew why he was there. They were marching not just for the right to vote, but the right to live. The right to live free from the constant threat of white supremacist terrorism, to live without being beaten, bombed, or shot, for daring to exist with dignity. They were marching for Jimmy Lee Jackson, a young black man who had been killed by an Alabama state trooper after a peaceful protest. They were marching to say, enough. How many of us have marched recently and in the past when it was time for us to stand together and say, enough? Yes. Enough! Enough of this. Enough! Enough! And so they stepped onto that bridge. Nearly 600 gathered. And he said that it was quiet. It was quiet, like a prayer. And then he looked around at the teachers, the students, the preachers, the mothers, ordinary people with extraordinary courage. And at the top of that bridge, they saw them. Rows of state troopers, gas masks, clubs, guns, horses, staring at them with hatred in their eyes and hatred in their hearts for their very existence. And they stood there, and they were told to turn back, but they kept walking. And then the troopers charged. It wasn't quiet anymore. He remembered the crack of the club against his skull. He remembered the blood, and he said that he thought he was going to die. But he never raised a hand in retaliation. We heard it mentioned in that video. Non-violence. Non-violence. The principle of non-violence. He never raised a hand in retaliation when he thought he was going to die. And that day became known as Bloody Sunday. But from that moment on, he carried a truth with him. The theme of today, and what should be our theme moving forward, that sometimes you have to get into good trouble. Necessary trouble. And even today, right here in the Coachella Valley, we're at a breaking point. We're seeing our freeways in our communities with military vehicles. ICE raids in cities, sanctuary cities being targeted across the desert. Families being torn apart, children being left behind, people being too terrified to leave their homes. People aren't going to doctor's appointments. The children are not going to school. It's horrible. It's horrible. And just like in 1965, we're being told to be quiet, to comply in advance, to wait, to just stop, back down. But as Congressman Lewis said, never, ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble. And so what I'm here to ask you all tonight is, what will your good trouble look like? Will you speak up at the workplace? Yes. Will you stand with your neighbors when masked bounty hunters come to take them? What about when you're at your favorite restaurant and they're taking people? Will you speak up? Will you stand with our community members? Will you show up at school board meetings, at city council meetings, and at the ballot box? Will you organize? Will you protest? And will you call out the injustice? Because guess what? You don't need a title. John Lewis, he did not start with a title. He started with a conviction. And that is all you need. And it's no wonder, why do you think they try so hard to shut us up? It's in the National Guard, Marines, spend tens of millions of dollars to keep us quiet and afraid. Because good trouble, necessary trouble, is what changes the world. It knocks down tyrants. It opens up the dam so that justice can flow like a mighty river. armchair outrage have very low returns. Very low returns. It is time to get outside. Isn't this our moment? It's happening right here. Isn't this our bridge? Isn't this our chance to say, we will not be turned around, we will not be silent, and we will not stop until there is justice. So whether it's a bridge in Alabama, or Palm Canyon, right here in Palm Springs, or a farm in Coachella, let's honor this legacy. Let's carry it forward and make some good, necessary trouble, because that is the only way that we are going to change the world. We have to be the change that we want to see, and we have to stand up and make some good trouble. I want to thank the organizers again for putting this together and giving me this opportunity, and I will see you all on the bridge.
Yeah!
Thank you so much. So inspiring. That was incredible. Well, just what we needed. So, next up, I have the pleasure of introducing poet and recording artist Doris Reed, who has the most beautiful spirit. She's been writing for over 40 years and has remained steadfast in her goal to inspire, encourage, and uplift through her work. You're going to be blown away. She's amazing. Doris Reed.
Good evening. I am really inspired by what I'm hearing. And as a writer, that is my voice. So not only do I do poetry, but I also do editorials, and I send them out all the way across the country. So I don't know if it's being published, but somebody's reading it. I'm happy. Yeah. So this piece is an African piece that I wrote to my ancestors, because this is one apple that's very proud of the tree from which she fell. And I always want to make that clear. So this is called On the Shoulders. On the shoulders of my ancestors, I gazed upon the horizon at the world, my oyster. An oyster whose luster was glazed with the blood of my people many years ago, who torn from the motherland, toiled in hot sun and inclement weather, under conditions so harsh it hurts to remember, yet who, through all the adversity, never gave up the dream of freedom. Standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, I look into the past to become better acquainted with the future assured me by those whose tears fell like raindrops upon barren land, while loved ones were so like cattle. The multitude who felt the sharp sting of the whip with each breath taken, and others who sacrificed with their lives so that generations coming after would not know the same injustices. I see chains of slavery binding the body, but not the mind. A desire to overcome day-to-day sufferings, the determination to survive despite all attempts to break the spirit, and the realization that a rightful existence had to be forged in a land that prospered on the broken backs of many. The shoulders on which I stand are very strong. From many nights huddled around candlelight learning how to read, countless days grasping each skill learned, a relentless dedication to the Underground Railroad run at the risk of death, and seeds lovingly planted that brought forth educators, politicians, writers, and inventors with a strong sense of purpose. Perseverance and determination best describes the shoulders on which I proudly stand, while listening to whispers of long ago, about hardships conquered, suffering endured, and faith held strong. I will forever hear the songs of my ancestors whose existence changed the course of history and laid the groundwork for all to follow and strive towards their rightful place in the sun. Thank you.
Doris Reed. Come on. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So, I can only see like these people up here, so I can't see anybody out there. But are you inspired?
Yeah.
Are you having a good time tonight? Yes. Are you ready to get into some good trouble? Yes. Come on now. Come on now. So, someone sent me a message and said, Tim, get off the stage right now. Because I want to do the next introduction. So I'm going to call up Janelle Hunt right now. Because that's what she wanted. Because that's what she wanted.
All right. Come on up.
That's her cue.
That's your cue. Because that's what she wanted. And when she wants that, you want to give it to her, right? Yes.
All right.
Yes. Anyway, Janelle Hunt, everybody.
Good evening. It's so dark up here. Hang on one second. Flashlight. Well, the reason why I sent Tim the message is because the next two speakers are very dear to my heart. This is my brother, Dr. Ori Jackson. His bio as follows. With a career spanning 29 years, Dr. Jackson has dedicated nearly 3 decades to the field of education. His journey began as a para-educator, a role he held for 3 years, followed by 10 years as a classroom teacher. He later then served as assistant principal for 11 and a half years and principal for 7 and a half years. In addition to his site-based leadership, Dr. Jackson has held many positions as a district level coordinator and an adjunct professor, consistently demonstrating a passion for empowering students and educators alike. Dr. Jackson holds a Bachelor of Arts degree, 2 master's degrees, and a doctorate in education social justice.
Yes, yes.
These academic accomplishments reflect his deep commitment to equity, advocacy, and continuous learning. Dr. Jackson attributes his success to the resilience and the strength of 2 remarkable women. Our late mother, Danetta Edwards, who was also known as Two Chief, some of you may know her as that, and our grandmother, Claudie B. Crawford. Give it up for Dr. Ori Jackson.
2 gentlemen who didn't know each other, and so I had the great fortune to introduce the first black mayor to the first superintendent of Palm Springs Unified School.
Come on, come on, come on.
I lifted him.
Come on, come on.
18 years ago, I lost my John Lewis, my mother. 18 years ago today, Mrs. Danetta Edwards. She She was courageous, my mama was mindful, and she was fiercely intelligent. A social justice warrior, my mother stood firm for what was right and what was just, even in the shadows, even against the tide. Today, hopefully, I'm asking you to hold her in your thoughts and in your hearts. I want to express my deep gratitude to the Palm Springs Cultural Center, Brothers of the Desert, Palm Springs Black History Committee, Coachella Valley Sisters of the Desert, Sisters Network, Courageous Resistance, and Indivisible of the Desert. Thank you for welcoming me into your space and allowing me to celebrate the life and the legacy of Congressman John Lewis. The true engine behind progress has always been grassroots organizing. Boots on the ground, fueled by purpose and not by politics. These organizations are effective because they are untethered from the power structures that uphold the status quo and stifle bold, necessary change. They are change agents. The folks out here in the crowd, give them a big hand, please.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge some of the silent architects behind so many of the legal victories in the civil rights movement, our Jewish allies and esquires who worked hand in hand with the NAACP to make their efforts a reality. Their partnership matters. It always has. And as we watch the clips of John Lewis, they made it a point to remind us that collaboration was at the very top of his agenda. So in the words of the Congressman John Lewis, he said, "A democracy cannot thrive where power remains, unchecked, and justice is reserved for a select few. Ignoring these cries and failing to respond to this movement is simply not an option, for peace cannot exist where justice is not served." As our nation stands on the precipice of its ideals vanishing, these words remain as relevant today as they did 60 years ago. John Lewis was more than a congressman. He was a close friend, and he was a frontline lieutenant to Dr. Martin Luther King. He was a product of SCLC, SNCC. He was disciplined training in nonviolent resistance. Young Lewis mastered the art of civil disobedience as supported by the clips that we watched. And he did this not only in theory, but he acted it out. Born into poverty, surrounded by segregation, and raised under the heavy weight of Jim Crow, sharecropping, remnants of the Great Depression, he rose above the mire injustice to earn a degree from the historic Fisk University in religion and philosophy. He then went to war, not with his fists, but he went to war with faith. Over the next 6 decades, he perfected the art of what he called good trouble. Audre Lorde once wrote, "The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house." John Lewis understood this. He rejected violence and he wielded nonviolence, Henry David Thoreau's civil disobedience, as both shield and sword. He forced America to watch, and in the glare of television cameras and under the scrutiny of global eyes, the lies of white supremacy began to unravel, and when blood was spilled on the bridge in Selma, it watered the roots of a new conscience. And using this formula, Congressman John Lewis assembled a resume unparalleled by all of us in this room. He was the founding member and chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, aka SNCC. He was an organizer for the 1960 Nashville and Georgia sit-ins. He was a freedom rider. He was nearly killed for challenging desegregation across the South. He was the youngest keynote speaker in the 1963 March on Washington, and he was just 23 years old. He was a survivor and hero of Bloody Sunday on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, arrested more than 40 times for his acts of nonviolence. Instrumental in passing the 1964 Civil Rights Bill and the 1965 Voting Rights Act. He served 33 years in the U.S. House of Representatives for Georgia's 5th District. And last, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So as we confront today's political landscape, let us remember John Lewis. Let us teach our children truthfully. But more importantly, let us not repeat the sins of our fathers. For freedom is not a state, it's an act. It's not some enchanted garden perched high on a distant plateau where we can finally sit down and rest. Freedom is the continuous action we all must take, and each generation must do its part to create an even fairer, more just society. So may we rise to the occasion. May we be unrelenting in our pursuit of good trouble. Thank you.
Dr. Warren Jackson! Yes, yes. Thank you so much. You know, it's just going to keep coming. We got more. We got more. I've been sitting there hearing everybody. I think this lineup has been amazing. So I wanted to say that and give them an applause for all the people who've been up here so far. And you're going to be amazed at the next person who's going to be coming up here. Because she's amazing. That's all you can say. She's amazing. So I'm going to be talking about Sweet Baby J. And I go to read this. I love it. Sweet Baby J is a multi-award-winning singer, poet, festival producer, community activist, earth mother, and an unapologetic goddess. All right. She's the founder of the Sunset Music and Education Foundation and a proud member of the Coachella Valley Sisters Network and a cultural force whose work bridges art, education, and activism, whether she's lighting up a stage or lifting up a community. Sweet Baby J moves with purpose, passion, and a whole lot of soul. Sweet Baby J!
I love that, Tim. Can I take you on the road? You're going to give me this one? Okay. All right, I'll take this. Wait, I can't hear this. All right, one for the money. Are you having a good time? Yeah! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Chad, is that one? All right, good. Okay. All right. We'll take it. Oh, this got all problems. Give me that microphone.
Yeah. It was echoing.
Turn it on. Turn it on, Jay.
All right, everybody. Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. I did not feel well today. And I said I wanted to come here because I knew I would feel better to be around like-minded people. Sometimes you just have to find solidarity with like-minded people. And Brother Man is making me come out of my shoes. So let me tell you something. John Lewis said, if you see something, you got to do something, right? We are seeing a lot going on today. We are talking about our rights being stripped away from us as we wake up in the morning. Every day there's a new something that's happening. Every day there's a new something that's happening that takes my breath away. It's like, how much can we take? Our education system wants to wipe it out. What is that? Everything say, what is that? Aid for starving children. They had to burn up tons and tons of food because they didn't want to give it to starving children. Our healthcare systems, attacks on veterans, attacks on our science. It's just amazing. But we have to stand up and do something. I am a woman of color, a lesbian. I've seen it before. And my parents saw it. I saw Ruthie Berman over here, 91 years old. Ruthie told me and stuck with me. She said, you know what, sweet baby, I'm going to have to pull out my old signs because I've been through this before. You know what I mean? Open the closet, dust off the old signs, or make some new ones, because we have to stand up and shout it out. We have to say no more. We have to stand up and use our voices and come together at events like this. Come together at community events and say, let's work together and let's use our voices to stand up and shout out. Because we are seeing something and we have to say something, and we cannot wait until that old saying, look, baby, I've been through it before. It'll be better. It'll be better. But nothing gets better without the fight, baby. Let me tell you something. Slavery, the genocide of Native Americans, the women's right to vote, the civil rights movement. We've had to get out. We've had to shout, and we've had to do it together, and we are going to have to do that together. We cannot wait until the election rolls around again and cross our fingers and hope. Come on. No, we have to stand up and say no more. We have to stand up and say no more. We have to use our voices to make that change, because they do not know if we don't tell them. That's right. When King's Day rolled around, and I was so proud that Palm Springs had 5,000 people show up. Do you hear me? 5,000 people. I mean, just proud of the city that flooded out in all of this attention. And now our attention is going down the rabbit hole of what's his name? The pedophile guy.
What's his name? What's his name?
You know, that's the reality of it. We're not going to go down any rabbit hole. We're going to stand together with our arms locked together, and we are going to say no more. This is what we're going to do. Now, the Coachella Valley Sisters, I love to say that, it's spelled with a T-H, Sisters Network. We do that work, and we love each other, and we gather around. And all of the organizations here today, it is just amazing. But you know, artists, this program, can I get an amen on this program? Amen. It's just wonderful. Artists have always stood on the side of being a voice for marginalized communities. It is what we do. And I want to say that I have a foundation that we started called the Sunset Music and Education Foundation, where we give instruments to children. Beautiful. Yes. We started in junior high school in hopes, and they're in underserved communities, in hopes that they take it on to high school and they take it on and possibly get a college scholarship and go on and work their way out of poverty, work their way to a career path, because artists, and today, all of this is landing in the laps of our children. All of these dollars that are being spent, trillions of dollars, our babies are going to have to pay for that, right? And so we need to teach them to stand up and shout out and lock arms with us, because that's the way it's going to happen to be. Like Mavis Staples, keep your eyes on the
prize. Hold on. Paul and Silas bound in jail, had no money but to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit. Nina Simone, Mississippi Goddamn. Well, let me tell you, the next generation is coming up. I want to introduce this young woman because she's got to fight that battle, right? We have to fight. We have to teach our children to fight because it's laying in their laps. All of this money is going to be laying in their laps to pay back. Social Security under attack. We have to do something. Mariah Hernandez. She graduated from Cathedral City High School, right? She went on to the College of the Desert. She's a music student. And like our program, she started in junior high school and said, this is something I want to do. Went on to high school, went on to college, got a scholarship in music, and is doing her thing. And she is going to do her thing today because baby girl has said, stand up and use your voice. And can I get a no more? No. Can I say, get a no more? No more. Take it, stand up. No more. Put your hands together and welcome to the stage the incredible, the rising bright star, Miss Mariah Hernandez.
Mariah.
We need sound.
Come on, come on.
Just in case I have to run, I do what I can when I can, what I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling, calling me to enter? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy water. You know I haven't made up mine.
Come on.
And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going
the future is in good hands, I think. And we're going to hear a little bit more about the future being in good hands because our next speaker is also a young person. We want to leave you with a message from the young people. And again, we're going to have Janelle Hunt introduce our next speaker. So thank you, Janelle.
The next young lady is my niece, Addison Danetta Jackson. Addison Danetta Jackson is the daughter of Orrin Jackson and Maggie Jackson, granddaughter of Danetta Crawford Edwards, and my niece. I'm reading the bio. Addison attends Xavier College Preparatory High School.
Yeah.
And will be entering her senior year.
Yes.
While earning letters in track and cross country, Addison enjoys museum hopping, composing poetry, keeping up with the professional hockey, and appreciating music across all genres. Genres. Addison has successfully balanced her extracurricular and academic goals. Addison has taken 7 AP courses, passed all 7 of her advanced placement tests, and she maintains a 4.5 cumulative GPA.
Come on, come on.
She will be entering college with a minimum of 55 completed units already.
Yes.
In her spare time, she enjoys reading, researching theological concepts, and traveling. Please welcome Addison Danetta Jackson.
All right.
Only half that was true, by the way.
No,
Figure out which part.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was asked today to meditate on John Lewis's concept of good trouble. So I just thought I'd start by saying I have a lot of free time.
I don't think so.
Maybe too much. That's okay. But I'd like to think it's well spent. Developing my blossoming career as an armchair theologian of sorts. Kind of like C.S. Lewis or Rumi, but like without, the spiritual enlightenment or a job.
Yes.
As an amateur researcher and anxious, maybe too connected, constantly scrolling citizen, I try to focus on concepts that engage both the spiritual journey with the global conflict I see in my daily life. I think the best example is such as the concept of liberation theology. Liberation theology emerged among Latin American Catholics, such as Gustavo Gutierrez in his novel A Theology of Liberation in the 1960s, an era that was defined by the rise of authoritarian fascist governments in Central and Southern America. As democratic governments crumbled, as Western corporate interests in countries, including the United States, infiltrated regional elections and dismissed the interests of land ownership of Latin American laborers, Catholic theologians created liberation theology to address the needs of a growing marginalized class of impoverished citizens as inspired by Christian teachings. As a response to a visible exploitation of impoverished groups, such as farmers, liberation theology was, of course, based on the recognition of systematic class struggle. That is, understanding that these people became poor due to corruption and inequality in economic and governmental systems. Just as Jesus acted as an advocate for the ailing, the exploited, and the ignored, liberation theologians utilized reform to diminish the suffering of others, acting as representatives of Jesus on earth. However, liberation theology was
largely criticized by the church, specifically Pope John Paul II.
Okay. Break it down. Break it down.
For its focus on disturbing hierarchical institutions, placing it alongside a lot of the Marxist movements that have also been occurring in Latin America. In the eyes of the church, honest, simple aspirations of faith could not and should not be politicized. But, in my opinion, which is of high demand.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't see an issue with any of that. Because, newsflash, most of the time, goodness, kindness is political. Liberation theology spread throughout the world. Marginalized groups adopted nonviolent demonstrations, advocacy, and research inspired by the Latin American Catholics. Liberation theology, in fact, morphed into a practice that you may be familiar with, Black theology. Utilized by figures such as Desmond Tutu in South Africa and Martin Luther King Jr. in the United States. Black theology strives to configure social equality through distinct nonviolence emphasized by Christianity. I believe Black theology, and thus liberation theology, is best expressed in the terms of John Lewis's Good Trouble. No, Jesus of Nazareth did not overthrow the Roman government or directly challenge the taxation systems and limited religious expression that oppressed the Jewish people of the era. In fact, in the ventures of Christ, no blood was shed except his own. However, Jesus incited change through his own radical love. His affection and advocacy for the oppressed, expressed simply through healing and companionship, was enough to disturb the highest ranks of the Roman government. John Lewis did something very, very simple by just sitting at a lunch counter in Nashville, walking across a bridge. Yet his action, born out of love and hope for his oppressed community, willed the wrath of the law. I want to tell you today, your kindness will make someone uncomfortable.
Come on.
It will make someone alienated in their own negativity and their own hatred.
Yeah.
Kindness and goodness will always be troublesome. Kindness disturbs the silence.
Yeah.
The stillness of apathy that is too often centered in our institutions. In our efforts to demonstrate kindness in our civic ventures and daily lives, may we not be perturbed by the trouble we create.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That was incredible. We have just a couple of pieces left for this evening. We're going to have a benediction and then a finale, a boots on the ground finale that you don't want to miss. But before we do that, I'm going to do a song. No, I'm not. What's going to happen is we don't need, but that sounds terrible. We would like your support. This is a free event, and we would love some support from you to offset some of the costs for this event.
Yes.
So, you're going to see some baskets coming down the rows here.
Yes.
Coming down the rows here in the back. Please, if you have cash, does anybody have cash anymore? But anyway, if you have cash, yes, please. We really want you to help us out. Anything you can give is going to be really wonderful. So we're going to do that for the next about a minute or two, and then we're going to move on because we want to move on, right? We want to move on. So please, and if there's any little music you can put on, Jamie, a little bit of something exciting, soulful.
So during our intermission, if you've been watching this live, I encourage you to share the broadcast, and I'll continue to go live through the end of this event and have some final words for you.
And we feel it's love to go. There are sunbeams and moonbeams, see love to shine. Listen, love, if you want to know what the world needs now, love, sweet love. It's the only thing that is just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Oh, not just for a time, for everyone. Everyone, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that is just to love. What the world needs now, love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for what the world needs now, love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs, love, sweet love. Just a love, sweet love. Simply love, sweet love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs.
How did you not take off my clothes?
Yet.
Oh, I love this. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna have to walk the stroll.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you, everybody, for donating. We really, really appreciate it. We're going to move now to our benediction. That is about, but try to tell me something.
The restroom is calling him.
Oh, okay.
Boots
on the ground. Like the what?
Yeah, move around.
Anyway, again, we just want to say again from all of the organizations that we are so impressed and happy that you're here, that you stayed with us, that you heard all of the speakers and all of the singers, and this was really about inspiration, and I'm hoping you feel that way. So let me know that you feel that way by telling us. You feel that way, yes? Yes. And I'm now going to introduce Pastor Carter from Agilon Baptist Church. Yes, come on now. Who's been such an amazing person in the community who's helped so many people and helped us too. So thank you so much. Come on up here and deliver that benediction. We really, really would appreciate it.
The benediction today, we just want to bow our heads for a moment and say, Lord, we thank you for the inspiration that we have received on tonight. Thank you for the memory of John Lewis that has inspired us, that will unite us. Thank you for all of the speakers, poems, the beautiful song and singing that's been performed tonight. We pray that when we leave here inspired and encouraged to work together. We may be diverse in our various efforts, but we are united by doing good and being kind to one another and bringing change around us. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Pastor Carter from Agilon Baptist Church.
All right, Pastor Carter.
But now, we've got a finale. We've got a finale. I see somebody coming up there who's going to get us to get our boots on the ground and move forward and marching towards justice. I'm going to introduce Ginger Nelson from the Coachella Valley Sisters Network.
All right, sisters.
Last month, Sweet Baby J asked me to talk about boots on the ground at her Juneteenth celebration. And so I was like, okay, well, let me think about that. What I thought about is how our ancestors would clap and sway as they were singing hymns and marching for the civil rights, the very same civil rights that we are losing right now. And so I thought, this is a big problem that we're facing. And we need everybody involved. And if this song and dance engages our young people, let's make it our rallying call. Yeah. Because we need them involved. We need them to realize and understand and feel the beat, the rhythm, and be involved with us in this. Because we can't do it without them. I want to make sure that we all, whether you're black, white, brown, Asian, straight, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, bisexual, biracial, queer, other, unknown.
I have those babies. I don't know what's going on.
We need, right now, put our fans and our glow sticks up in the air and put our boots
On the ground.
I know that there's some people out there who can do this dance with me. Come on. Come on. We got to.
Where them fans at?
Where the fans at?
here. On behalf of Coachella Citizens Network, yes. Indivisible of the Desert, Courageous Resistance. Congressman Black History Committee. And Brothers of the Desert, have a good evening. Thank you, United States, and the good trouble.
And thank all of you for watching. If you've watched this long, thank you. I encourage you to share this broadcast. I will download it and transport it over to YouTube and other places. And I'm Nicholas Snow. This is PromoHomo.TV. And it is my honor and privilege to capture events like this for preservation so more people can access them now and forever. Have a good night, everybody. So, I hope that you are as inspired as I am. We've been to church. We put our boots on the ground. We are standing up. If you've watched this long, we are 2 hours and 18 minutes into this broadcast. Thank you. To be part of the original daily new programming, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my official YouTube channel. Be sure to turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
In a safe place, I got room to breathe. Been a long chase, but at last I'm free. These open woods, I knew I could find peace here. Nothing like the city where I got tired of the running, the catching up. I got hungry for the stunning high mountain tops. So I made some plans, some dreams to catch, to promised lands, to find my path, see the planet from greater heights. I have found a place out of time and space, far from city lights, up on greater heights. See the blue sky, feel the wind that blows, get the rush in, heaven only knows. I'm all alone, still lying far from lonely, on a journey, on a winding road. Got tired of the running, the catching up. I got hungry for the stunning high mountain top.